first have a public hearing, and the first item is for an ordinance 2026-003 on special events. This ordinance has actually come before the board several times due to some language change. Clerk Goodyear, we don't have anybody signed up tonight for this. All right, so we will move right on into item number 2, which is application for a variance for property located at 3630 Bethany Court, Deering, Georgia, 30808. Parcel number 65D31, consisting of approximately 2.64 acres zoned residential. The request is to allow the construction of a storage structure on a parcel that does not contain an existing primary residential structure. Director Walker, if you want to, nobody signed up for this?
We did. Did they sign up to speak?
They didn't, but I'll ask.
Good evening, Commissioners. How we doing?
Good.
You pretty much read the background. The applicant is requesting a variance to permit the construction of an accessory storage structure on the property without a principal residential structure. The applicant has indicated that the development of a primary residence is currently limited by septic-related constraints. Based on the information provided, the estimated cost to make the property suitable for septic service is approximately $30,000 for an ultraviolet septic system and $20,000 for a sand mound system, along with an additional estimated $5,000 for engineering and design plans of a hybrid septic system depending on site-specific conditions and required regulatory approvals. The applicant also expressed intent to use portions of the property for agricultural and horticultural purposes, including planting squash and pumpkins, as well as vegetation intended to attract butterflies and hummingbirds, which may generally be consistent with garden or horticultural activities permitted in an R2 zone. Under R2 zoning, accessory structures are to be subordinate to and located on the same parcel as an established primary use. The request does not follow the normal R2 zoning requirements, where a primary residence is typically required to be built before any accessory structures are allowed. Approval of the request would allow an accessory type structure on a parcel without an established principal use, which may be inconsistent with the customary zoning hierarchy within the district. Denial of the request may limit the property's ability to be used. So we found that the parcel is currently vacant and contains no principal residential structure. It is in an R2 zone. The request is to approve the construction of a 2,400 square foot metal storage building on the parcel. The proposed building is intended for a storage of a 41-foot Class A recreational vehicle, 45-foot flatbed trailer, classic automobiles, tools, and workshop equipment. The parcel was purchased with the understanding that it had failed prior soil evaluations and would not be utilized for a residential development. The property was acquired with the intention of storage, gardening, and horticultural purposes, while minimizing disturbance to the natural character of the site and surrounding parcels under the common ownership. The parcel has been evaluated by a certified soil classifier and received an unfavorable soil rating due to site conditions and inability to support a conventional septic system. Alternative septic systems have been investigated. However, the cost of engineered septic solutions is considered impractical. There are no future plans to construct a primary residence on the property. If septic approval is never obtained, the property will continue to be utilized for storage and horticultural purposes. That word is ridiculous to me. Proposed use for the parcel are personal, non-commercial, agricultural, and horticultural activities, including gardening and wildlife-friendly plantings. No residential occupancy of the proposed structure is intended or anticipated. Utility service is proposed to be limited to electrical use. A smaller or temporary structure would not adequately accommodate the intended storage needs. Some adjacent, property owners have expressed support for the proposal. Staff does not support or oppose the request, but it's up to the commission to make that decision. If the commission does approve, all required permits, will be obtained before construction. All structures should comply with the setback and height requirements. All structures should be limited to storage and incidental agricultural, horticultural use only. No residential occupancy of the structure shall be permitted. Approval will not waive future septic, health department, or principal structure requirements. Any agricultural activity must remain non-commercial.
All right, thank you, Director Walker. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, I see you're here tonight. Did you mean to sign up for public input during this public hearing?
We didn't know what we needed to do, so
Okay,
we're here to support it. So
Okay.
any questions?
all right, thank you. Well, at this time, we'll close the public hearing and move into tonight's Tuesday, July 21st, regular commission meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. And first, I will, let me also add, I noticed that Representative Gary Richardson and Lincoln County Chairman Walker Norman joined us tonight. So if I didn't think y'all were coming in a friendly manner, we might feel like we were getting ambushed by our neighbors. Thank y'all for being here tonight. With that, Reverend Favors, would you mind giving the invocation tonight?
Father, again, we're grateful for this day. We ask your blessings upon this proceeding. Guide us in the way of wisdom to bring about decisions that will be better for our community and this, our county. In the name of Jesus, who is our Christ, our prayer. Amen.
Amen. I pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Goodyear, no public input. All right, we have no one signed up for public input, so we'll move to approvals, the first being of tonight's agenda.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Jopling. All in favor? Any opposed? Item number 4 tonight is a set of minutes from the regular session, July 1st, 2026. You may have reviewed those in your packet beforehand, but we'll give you a minute to take a look at those.
I make a motion to approve.
Chairman Commissioner Holloman has made a motion to approve,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Jopling. All in favor? Any opposed? We do not have any information and announcements. I will add, though, that today the Something for Alex Foundation, we've talked about this in past meetings, but the Something for Alex Foundation is giving away meals until they've stopped at 6:30.
They're probably done.
And they had a huge crowd at the old high school facility on Main Street that the county owns. So we thank them for the good work they're doing here in the community today. With that, we'll move on to our staff reports tonight. Item number 5, report from the county manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have much to report right now. However, I do want to remind we trying to reinvigorate the CDBG disaster relief grant. There's user survey and income surveys that are necessary as part of this grant application. I added, we had that added to Facebook and also added to the website. And this is important for us moving forward with the final grant application to rehabilitate the old gym downtown that the county owns. That's currently underway. It's been open. We only had minimal response. So hopefully we'll get more responses. I was talking to the grant coordinator, so we need as many of those. And those are primarily for folks that use the Sweetwater gym. So if you're a Sweetwater gym user, please either go to our Facebook page or our website at the top and follow the link to the survey. And all that is confidential information. We don't even see it. The CSRA that's handling the grant processes, they'll be the ones to take that. Also, yesterday initiated for recreation a fall ball survey. I understand there was some interest in trying to get that pulled off. It is a very short turnaround time. I did talk with staff. There's some equipment needs that we'd need staffing as well. We're a little low on staffing right now. They're getting together an equipment list that we'd need. Also trying to effectuate the sign-up period and fit in if we decide to let a contractor rehabilitate those fields, the infields like we talked about. So I'm not saying it can't be done. There's just a lot of logistical pieces that we're we're approaching the 11th hour that we've got to make some decisions on. So that survey is out, so appreciate any feedback on that. And that's all I have.
Okay. I want to go back to, and just for those in the public that are here with us tonight, anybody who might have missed previous discussions, that CDBG disaster relief grant is focused on the old gym on Main Street. And so the idea there is that when we had Hurricane Helene, we had the shelter out at Sweetwater Park, and we had to retrofit that gym for folks to go to for power and AC. The gym already has bathrooms there, so if we can rehab that, folks in town that may not have access to get way out to Sweetwater Park will have access for an emergency shelter to stay. The Red Cross will come in and feed, so that'll be an asset for us in case of a disaster. But it'll also be used for recreation purposes for all the many people that live in that area, for basketball, the growing pickleball that we have community in the community. So we need folks to participate in that survey as part of this application process.
And if I could add one more thing that's unrelated, I need y'all to be thinking about a date for ribbon cutting. Actually, 2 dates. One date for the Raysville Fire Station, and then another date for Sweetwater for the baseball tower. Both of those projects are completed. We've accepted. We did the final inspections. We're having just some pressure washing done down at the baseball tower to get that cleaned up a little bit. But if y'all will be thinking about some dates to do that, I would prefer the Sweetwater maybe be a Saturday morning so we could get as much participation as possible.
Well, thank you. A lot has been accomplished this summer, and you mentioned the baseball tower, but also the football tower is complete.
Correct. The exterior, that's complete, and I'm waiting on an estimate to rehab some of the interior too, to make it a little bit more usable.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burton. If there are no questions or discussion.
Brandon, did you say in the surveys that that's only limited to the people who are just using the Sweetwater gym at this point? Is this not an open community survey?
Correct. It was mainly geared for the folks that were using the gym down there, because this was part of it is, like the chairman said, this is an auxiliary disaster storm shelter, if you will. But also it's, for overflow, so they can gauge, there's a community need for expanded places, that gymnasium space. That's part of the grant. So the focus was Sweetwater users.
And at this point, they need responses. I took the survey, so even if you have used it one time, tell folks to take it, because it asks how many times you use it, that kind of thing.
Well, that would include pickleball too, users, right?
Yes. Anybody that goes down there for anything, if any sport that they're using and they're utilizing that facility, please, fill that survey out.
Well,
That's important. That's important for the grant, so we need to get as many people, good surveys back in.
Absolutely. I think we only had collected around 50 so far, so we were hoping around 200.
And that link is on the county page, the Facebook page. I
Correct.
think the newspaper even
how long
ran
would that survey?
Till probably, I'm gonna say mid-August. It opened up a couple months ago, but
It
I
won't be a
think,
quick turnaround like the fall ball.
no, the fall ball, and I will add the fall ball. I'm gonna close that one Friday, because it's just, we're crunched. So I just wanted to gauge folks, for fall ball that would actually, commit, more or less commit to participating. And also, if I'd add, when I talk to staff, the shortage is going to be, scorekeepers and umpires. So it's going to have to be volunteer driven. Obviously, it's part of the DYB program, which is volunteer driven, but we'll need some help and understand that, it's a short turnaround. So that's why staff and myself was wanting to gauge the commitment, so to speak.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burton. Item number 6 tonight is budget report. Director Workman.
The budget report presented tonight is for June 2026. Expended, 50% of the county's budget has been expended at this point. From the general fund, $9,692,368.34 has been expended. That represents 36.6% of the budget. Revenue collections were $11,816,435.65. This represents 44.4% of the revenues being collected for the budget year. In reviewing the enterprise funds, the solid waste has a deficit of $53,067.06. The campgrounds have earned $32,983.12. And the budget report currently shows the fire EMS deficit at $1,301,485.95. And of course, we are anticipating insurance premium taxes and fire fees later for this year. General fund contributions to the transit program are $67,012.86. And 911 has received $262,515.43 from general fund. Does anyone have any questions on the budget report?
All right. If there are no questions or discussion on that, that report stands. Item number 7, financial report.
Moving over to the financial report, the bank balances for the month of June. The county's overall cash balances total $32,064,992. Of these amounts, the general fund balances total $7,720,805. Enterprise funds, $1,277,842. Grant funds, $17,996. Special revenue funds, $1,001,049. SPLOST and T-SPLOST balances, $20,192,865. And the LMIG account has a balance of $1,854,435. Moving over to your next report is going to be hotel tax collections. Collections for the month of May were $24,311, which represents a 10% decrease compared to this time. These were the revenues collected during the month of June, but from the hotels collected the month of May. Your next report is local option sales tax. Collections for the month of June were $272,204, and this is a 3.7% decrease compared to this point last year. The next report you have is titled Avaloing taxes. Avaloing taxes were $8,700. Taft collections were $107,587. Moving over to your next report, energy excise tax collections for the month of June were $19,298. And this is only a difference of $782 compared to this point last year. Your next report is your floss collections. Collections for the month of June were $406,008. Of this amount, the county's portion is $278,237. The next report you have is the T-SPLOST report. Collections were $108,747. There were expenses of $5,410, and this was some engineering expenses. Interest income of $492. Your next report is SPLOST 6. The only activity for the month was an expense of $239,199. That was for the baseball tower at the recreation facility. Interest income was $5,720. The final report you have is SPLOST 7. Collections for the month were $407,647. There were expenses for economic development of $44,490 and interest income of $44,708. Does anyone have any questions on any of those reports?
Pam, I'll just add that on the floss, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but on our PT form, the floss collected for January through May of this year is the equivalent of about 1.5 meals.
Roughly.
And so that floss will be that sales tax collection will be applied to, that 1.5 mils will be deducted from our millage rate in the fall. So originally, those funds were supposed to be collected for a whole calendar year and then applied in year 2027. And the state has made some changes in the beginning part of this year to where the first 5 months will be applied in this tax year. So hopefully about 1.5 mil deduction for us. Were there any questions or discussion for Director Workman on the financial report? If not, that report stands. We'll move right on into old business. Tonight, item number 8 is the second reading of ordinance 2026-003 regarding special events. Like I said earlier, this ordinance has gone before the board several times. There was a few items that were changed in the ordinance, but this puts regulations on the 2 county properties that are most heavily used, the old high school property and the government center property, and gives regulations for large events throughout the county. So, do I have a motion that we approve this item?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Holloman,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Joplin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to new business. Item number 9, consideration to approve the application for variance at 3630 Bethany Court in Deering. 2.64 acre tract zoned R2 for the purpose of constructing a storage structure on a property that does not have a primary residence. The recommendation from the planning board is for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, motion from Commissioner Joplin. Is there a second?
Second, you had questions on it? Seconded.
Seconded by Commissioner Favors with question
No, I was
from
asking.
Commissioner
I
Holland.
got a couple questions. So it's you guys are the ones doing it. So you're using that as like a getaway, correct? For just a visit? That would entail,
Place to park the RV in between uses.
will you be staying in the RV on this property as well?
Not for that type of use, just to park the RV in it. The trailer that I usually pull behind with the car on.
Okay,
And I'm from Pennsylvania, I still have a car up north, it's an old Mustang I want to bring down.
okay.
I tinker with it. We currently live in an HOA.
My only concern with it, which has been approved in a second, is it's in what you would call a neighborhood, and I didn't want to open up a can of worms for it to start happening in every neighborhood, because it's going to cause a lot of problems.
They own 3 of the 5 parcels.
Half the cul-de-sac.
Okay,
So, and it's way back, it's not visible from the road. We're leaving the trees pretty much, and our neighbor next to us is favorable.
okay.
How many acres total is it with 3 lots there?
6.23 with all 3 lots.
Okay.
We basically bought everything from the corner all the way around the back of the cul-de-sac. Particularly, that's the main reason, no neighbors.
But this will not be for residential use.
Nah, this is just for me. We live just outside Grove Town, so it's about 15 minutes away for me to travel over there. And we can't grow a lot of stuff. When we live in an HOA, we got our 2 prescribed HOA trees.
Okay.
And it's hard to grow any kind of plants, gardening or anything because of the sun and the heat. So unless we water everything, we were looking for some place with trees, because I'm from Pennsylvania, I want trees. I don't see any trees down here. So we just wanted a place that we can go sit in a lawn chair in the trees, feel the breeze, and then be back home.
All right. No further
Well,
questions?
theoretically, you got 2 other lots. If you wanted to build on them, you could build on them, right?
Does any of it hurt?
They all had
Or-
perk issues.
Yeah.
None of them apart?
We're not sure, they gave up after 7 holes. They started on the property that we want to build on and moved from there through the second property. The second property was on classified as C, and they would still require the same type of sand mine or
Yeah.
ultraviolet system. And they gave up after that. There were some holes that they put water in, but still had water in 24 hours later.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So theoretically, it just doesn't perk then, right?
Yeah, there's
None of
no
them.
possible way.
All right, there's a motion for approval of the planning board's recommendation and a second from Commissioner Favors. There is no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item number 10 is consideration to approve temporary one-day alcohol license for the 32nd Annual Blind Willie McTell Festival. Mr. Walker.
Again. So we have a temporary one-day alcohol license request for the 32nd Annual Blind Willie McTell Music Festival. Activities Council of Thompson is the business. The address for the event is going to be 965 Stagecoach Road. The applicant is Mr. Don Powers. He is the owner of Activities Council of Thompson, and he is requesting a temporary one-day alcohol license for the sale of beer, wine, seltzers, and canned mixed drinks during the 32nd Annual Blind Willie McTell Music Festival occurring on September 12th, 2026, with approximately 1,500 in attendance on Stagecoach Road. Mr. Powers has submitted the appropriate paperwork and passed background checks. The business does not need to meet typical alcohol license requirements for a temporary one-day license, such as advertisements in the newspaper. The location will be at 956 Stagecoach. No signage requirements are necessary due to it being a one-day event. You can approve, you can deny, and we're waiting on your decision.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Is there a motion that we approve this one-day alcohol license for the Blind Willie McTell Festival?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Jopling,
I second.
seconded by Commissioner Holloman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 11 is consideration to approve the use of the Government Center grounds for the annual Camellia City Festival on Saturday, October 24th, 2026, from 9 to 4. This request came from Kenya Calhoun at the Chamber of Commerce. The letter was in the packet. This is routine festival that's held annually. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Holloman,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Jopling. Any questions, further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 12 is consideration to approve Verita DHS subcontractor agreement for FY 27. Ms. Walker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Barada VHS, they pay for the seniors to come to the center, and they pay $18 an hour. I'm sorry, $18 a trip. So they really don't send out no set amount because there's a day fee, and each month I have to turn in the list of people, how many I got, and multiply it by 18 and send it to them. The check comes to the county.
And this is
That-
a continuation
Of
of
the-
existing services.
Right. From July to June,
July to June.
yes.
All right. Is there a motion for approval of this contract?
So moved.
I second.
Commissioner Favors, motion by Commissioner Favors, seconded by Commissioner Holloman. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Director Walker again. Item number 13, consideration to approve AAA FY 2027 nutrition contract.
This grant pays for the meals for the seniors at age 60 and older. They pay for congregate meals and homebound. And that's continuation from July to June also.
Were there any budgetary changes to this contract this year?
Yes, there is, and there's about a $12,368 increase that we'll receive.
All right.
Is that determined on the number of people that receive these meals, or
Yeah.
how's that determined?
Well, it goes by, seniors, the bill member, you have to be 55, but it only pays from age 60. So all our clients that we got that's 60 and older is what they paying for, the contract's paying, the grant.
All right, so the recommendation is approval of this nutrition contract. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Favors,
A second.
seconded by Commissioner Holloman. Any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Item number 14, thank you, Director Walker. Item number 14, consideration to award 2KM for CDBG disaster relief school gymnasium renovation.
Thanks, sir. As part of the CDBG disaster relief grant application that I mentioned the survey earlier in the meeting, the Regional Commission flew a A&E contract earlier this year and only received one proposal, so they had to resolicit this. And this time we got 6 folks, 6 firms that responded. I met with the Regional Commission and reviewed all the proposals and ranked them, and you can see the point system that was derived, and the Regional Commission and staff is recommending the award of the AE contract with 2KM Architects out of Augusta. They're fairly local, and they will, for $3,000, they will produce a preliminary architectural report, and this will be included in the grant application. And what that does is they basically give an engineer's estimate of what the project will cost, a timeline, and what's needed to rehabilitate the facility.
And this portion is required for them to actually apply for the grant.
Correct.
Them being the Regional Commission.
Correct. We have to have the PAR before we'll
Submit the application.
submit the final application for the grant.
Do we have like a scope of work and a ballpark figure at all?
No, that's what this preliminary architectural report is designed to do.
Well,
So-
that's
so-
kind of
so-
what I was thinking, but I didn't know if there was anything
Yeah,
anybody had in mind.
they'll photograph, measure, and review the building, and then come up with proposed measures along with a cost estimate.
All right. The recommendation is to award this to 2KM to move forward with the PAR for the grant the Regional Commission is handling for us for McDuffie County. So is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jopling and seconded by Commissioner Favors. Any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, well, this concludes our regular commission meeting tonight. We have executive session regarding personnel on our agenda. So we're going to go into executive session, and then we'll open those doors back if you want to come back into the regular meeting after. I don't think we expect any action tonight. We may. We could have action tonight, so if you'd like to wait outside and come back in, you're welcome to do so. Is there a motion that we enter into executive session?
I move.
Commissioner Holloman,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Favors. 7:03.